All right, this is a pretty impromptu video I'm making. Kind of spent a little bit making a slideshow style video with inspiration thanks to Will Gibson for his video on cleaning up dirt road. And I wanted to give my thoughts and insights on how I personally would fix, or at least attempt to fix, dirt road in slideshow form. Now, it's not really like my ideas, it's more so what iRacing could do to, at the very least, bring people into dirt road and try and revitalize the scene. But to preface this, we have to go into the issues that face dirt road. And it all revolves around a lack of participation. If dirt road had more participation, none of this would really be an issue because iRacing would focus on it more. But it's really a cycle that iRacing has kind of allowed to exist that has caused it to reach such the sorry state that it is in right now. Even though we just got 2 pieces of content in the FAA Crosskart, or actually 3 pieces of content, the FAA Crosskart, Winton Rallycross, and Lucas Oil Wheatland. All great additions, but it kind of is a band-aid on top of a stab wound. It doesn't really do anything, or it's a nice gesture, I should say, but it doesn't fix the root issue. So the first issue is a lack of a pro series to keep high-level drivers racing. The last Rallycross Pro Series was in 2021, and the last Off-Road, the Truck Series, was in 2023. There has not been a Pro Series since then. And this keeps high-level drivers from racing often. Of course, you still have people like Thad Countryman, racing Pro 4s, but they're not going to be motivated to do so, since they're not going to be having a chance to get a Pro Series. And just the status of having a Pro Series is going to help people a lot when it comes to racing this discipline, even if it is the easiest discipline in the world. Or not necessarily the easiest, but even if it would be the easiest discipline in the world to get pro rating at, people would still do it to say that they were a pro on iRacing. The second one is what I think is the biggest downfall of dirt road racing, and it's the lack of content variety and lack of content in general to retain drivers and keep them interested in dirt road. A lot of them kind of race for a few weeks and then realize, wow, there's nothing here, and go back to doing what they were doing before dirt road. There's a dysfunctional license class system discouraging people going through license classes. There are classes competing against each other within the same license class, like Pro 2 and Pro 4 compete against each other, and it makes no sense. And I will give my proposed fix to that later on in this video. There's a lack of incentive to get people into racing dirt road and then subsequently keeping them there. Anyone who gets into dirt road is doing it purely off curiosity, and then they see that there's really nothing there, and they don't continue racing dirt road past a couple of weeks. It's very hard to get new people into dirt road because it's not really dead. It's a discipline on life support, I should say, that is very, very slowly getting drip-fed an IV to stay alive. Poor scheduling choices to force upon drivers, causing discontentment. If you can't tell, I don't like the dirt ovals in Pro 2 Lite, and this is one of them. None of the pros that I know, or of the high-level dirt road drivers that I know, like the ovals on the Pro 2 Lite schedule. Like, it is completely a contrived measure to try and induce variety, and it has had the opposite effect of, instead of bringing people into dirt road, it has actually pushed them away. And it's actually caused the negative effect of bringing people only in there to inflate their dirt road rating on dirt ovals because they don't want to put it as a dirt oval license class. So it actually has the knock-on effect of iRating inflation in dirt road. There's a lack of communication from iRacing. Things take years to get fixed. The Phoenix Dirt Road Cut for Pro 2 Lite took about 5 years to get fixed. iRacing said they were looking into the 2Xs on multiple short course off-road tracks like Firebird and Bark River back in 2024, March of 2024, and it's still more than possible to get 0Xs and 2Xs on perfectly fine pieces of track that can damage your car and rack up incident points and subsequently discourage people from racing those races because it will impact their safety rating for doing literally nothing. And that kind of goes into the lack of quality of life changes to maintain and let alone improve the racing on dirt road. There's a general ambivalence among the community and a feeling of being neglected, and that comes from the lack of communication from iRacing. A lot of pros just feel like they're not heard. A lot of high-level people in dirt road feel like it's a series that doesn't get any love from iRacing, which you can't blame them when it took 4.5 years to get a track that was teased to be finally released on iRacing. So yeah, it's in a real bad state, and the community knows that. They want it to succeed, but there's a general ambivalence that if it fails, it's all on iRacing, and they try their best to give iRacing everything that they needed to make it succeed, and it did not. Dirt road racing in general is rather niche with few real-world series to draw people in. There's FIA Rallycross, and then there is Championship Off-Road, and those are two pretty niche series that are kind of on a razor's edge when it came to funding. I know that FIA Rallycross recently had a pretty big scare with funding issues, but they've got that settled down, and they're looking to complete their season this year. And Championship Off-Road is still chugging along, but it is a very niche form of racing. And this whole issue system builds onto itself and creates a cycle leading towards consistent decline. There have been people asking for content, and iRacing kind of shrugging their shoulders since early 2020. And the just systemic neglect that iRacing is putting upon dirt road is causing this cycle and is pushing experienced people out and is preventing new people from getting in because they don't want to invest in a series on life support that can die at any moment. So, quick fixes iRacing can do to help dirt road bring back a yearly pro series to attract top level racers again. I think that if you give people the opportunity to race at the highest level, they will take that opportunity. I think that would bring a lot of people who kind of reside in leagues right now, like NASA and Special Stage. They'll bring them back into racing the Pro Series. Now, granted, this is assuming they fix everything that's wrong with short courses right now, like the ghost incidents and the track limits. But I think at the very least, a Pro Series will help bring people back because people like having the status of being a pro driver. And right now it's unattainable because if you didn't get pro license in 2023, well, you're not going to get it anytime soon since they haven't had a pro series since 2023. Lights at existing tracks for night races could help pad out the schedule while we get new tracks in for a different feeling. So imagine racing under the lights at Crandon or at Wild West. I think that would be fun. Even if it may not be necessarily super realistic, it would be definitely fun and would give a different feel to it. Like I said, remove the dirt ovals from Pro 2 Lite schedules. No brainer, they don't do anything but harm the series. Contests / prizes for Dirt Road series. I think that could definitely bring new people into Dirt Road, at least for a season, as a stopgap measure. And if they continue doing contests and prizes, it will still bring people in and keep people competing for those contests and prizes. Increase the field size for Pro 2 Lite to at least 12. 12 is the maximum size for the rallycross tracks, and I think that that is the bare minimum they should do because having the field split at 8 at Wild West, and if you get 9 people registered for the event, 4 cars at a 1.5 mile long track is not fun at all and is extremely boring. I think that if you have it to 12, you can have bigger fields and closer and more exciting racing. Fix the ghost 2Xs that have been appearing for years at off-road tracks like Firebird, Crandon, Bark River. I've just spoke about that. Tyson Miller has a great thread, multiple threads in detail about that I'll link in the description of this video if you are interested. Increase the race lengths for Rookie Series. This is I have no idea why they shortened them. They said it was because to reflect real-world equipment concerns, like for the real-world cars. Even though we're on a virtual sim, that doesn't reflect the cost of car upkeep. I thought that there was personally nothing wrong with 10-lap Rookie Series races. They shortened them to get more sessions going official, but it doesn't. It just waits. It just causes more people to wait in between session times, and it doesn't really get people going from Pro 2 Lite to Beetle Lite. And back and forth. It just is a very strange decision that has not panned out at all. And I think increased race lengths will reduce the need for a great qualifying time, and will increase the quality of racing because you'll have people going through the field. And if you have a bad qualifying time, you don't have to bulldoze your way through the field. So I think it would invariably lead to cleaner Pro 2 Lite races as well. Pro 2 Lite and just dirt road races in rookie class in general. Fix a truck aero and engine damage issue. These trucks, the Pro 2 and Pro 4, and the Pro 2 Lite to an extent, are made to make contact, and contact should not cause seconds worth per lap of aero and engine damage. That's just silly. Like, if you've ever watched a Pro 2 or Pro 4 truck race in real life, you'll see them make a ton of contact. Their hood will get scrunched up to them, but they're still able to race perfectly fine and stay competitive. Like, you'll see trucks without front ends finish in the top 3. Like, but if that happens on iRacing, you know, you are 2 to 3 seconds off the pace because of aero in a off-road truck. Doesn't make any sense. And especially these trucks are mid-engined as well, so front to back contact causing engine damage doesn't make a lot of sense. Increase participation credits for racing dirt road. This is kind of low vibration since there's not many people who compete for, or not really compete, but do the participation credits willingly, at least not that I know of. There might be a ton of people who do that, but I don't know, like, instead of maybe getting $4 for doing 8 weeks of a series, you get 6. And I think that would, at the very least, incentivize people to race dirt road more throughout the season. A rallycross special event to complement the Crandon Championship. Currently, there's only one. Dirt road special event, and that's the Crandon Championship every year. I think the Crandon Championship's a perfectly fine special event, but I think that there needs to be a similar rallycross one, so that you can have at the very least, a high-level rallycross special event for the rallycross people, because if you ever watched NASA on YouTube, they are very, very competitive, and I think that they love to have a special event. Who knows? Maybe go to Hell RX, and have like a multiple day session or something like that. I don't know, but I think it'd be a good way to have a spike in participation for dirt road, at the very least for a week. Implement a way to get a pro license for top drivers. This ties in with the yearly pro series. It needs to be a yearly pro series every year, not just 1 year and then stop doing it. But implement a way to get a pro license for top drivers. I think that would bring people into racing higher end dirt road more. I don't know how you would implement a pro license. Maybe give it to the top 25 people in and let's say Pro 4 Open and Rallycross Open. That's what I think might work for a pro license, but then again, you kind of have to do something with a pro license once you get it, which would help with a yearly pro series for both Rallycross and off-road. No, you gotta have both of them. Maybe have the Rallycross at the beginning of the year, and then the dirt road or short course trucks at the end of the year to line up with the Crandon Championship. Let's see, what else? Feature dirt road racing content more often on social media. Low vibration. It's not really going to do much, but at the very least, it'll let people know that iRacing actually pays attention to dirt road. Partner with Real World Series in dirt road. Like I said, another low vibration one, but at least it will signal that iRacing is doing something with dirt road and isn't completely forgetting about it. I have this one in all caps. Communicate with the players more. I mean, good lord. Like, if iRacing just communicated with the players more and was more transparent about their decisions, it would be a much different feeling, and there might be a lot more hope in the dirt road community for changes to come. But it's just there is barely any communication between players and iRacing staff. And have staff members that are active in the dirt road community to quickly bring forward solutions and any issues that arise to fix without having to wait years. Yeah, Chris Leone was that. I mean, I personally have my reservations about him, but he was iRacing's dirt road guy for a little bit, and then he kind of just fell off the face of the earth. Like, he hasn't made a lot of posts about dirt road to kind of bring any light to it. Really, poor Tyler D. Hudson has to be the one bearing the brunt for the for everything on iRacing, because he's the main scheduler. But yeah, he's really the last person to talk about dirt road, and that was in regards to the scheduling. But yeah, have staff members that are active in the dirt road community, or hell, promote ex-pros or current pros to iRacing, temp staff or something. I don't know, just to have a pulse on the iRacing dirt road community, because it's very weak, but there's a community there. Fixes that will take a while but are objectively necessary. New real tracks, and the sooner they are scanned the better. Antigo, Elk River, Dirt City Motorplex, Glen Helen. The bolded ones are current tracks in Championship Off-Road, and the ones that are italicized are current layouts for this calendar year in FIA Rallycross. So Bikernieki, Nierad, Hoyas, I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly, Mondello Park, Lohiach, Lusada, and Jakarta. I think any of these would help, like especially Antigo. Antigo would help a lot, because what you could do is that it's both a dirt oval and a short course track. You could sell it as a package and then use the funds from that to put it towards dirt road, because both dirt oval and dirt road people will buy it. So there'll be more people buying Antigo if it released with both a dirt road and dirt oval layout than just let's say if Elk River released. And they don't have to specifically release the Rallycross tracks, because they can explore fictional layouts and get in tracks with track ownership for the use of a fictional Rallycross or short course layout to bundle with the track. I think, if we can get, like, let's say Oschersleben Rallycross added, or a Rallycross variant to a lot of the free tracks, like the free road courses on the schedule, that would help a lot in terms of variants and keeping people interested, and maybe even try to bring up the number of free Rallycross tracks up to let's say 6 or 8 to kind of lessen the burden once you break out of rookie Rallycross and kind of start having to pay for a bunch of tracks for a nearly dead discipline. iRacing Super Speedways infield, it's massive, and it's an untapped potential for at least a couple of layouts with literally no contract obligations, because it's a fictional track that has a massive empty infield of like a mile long. Like you could fit a dirt road track and a rallycross layout inside of it super easily, and maybe even multiple if you wanted to. It's kind of just untapped potential, and I would personally say it's stifling creativity a little bit by not letting designers kind of run free and say, hey, create a realistic track layout within this that we can give to people. And it would actually increase the sales and usability of iRacing Super Speedway, because it isn't used anymore ever since, it's maybe used once or twice a year whenever the NASCAR series are on hiatus and they need a emergency track as kind of a crapshoot week. But yeah, I haven't raced iRacing Super Speedway in quite a long time, and I don't remember the last time it was used outside of Carb Cup. Updated rallycross cars in line with current FIA rallycross regulations. This is very urgent because this would be super helpful to create a smooth progression up through rallycross racing on dirt road. And this is going to tie in a little bit later to kind of outlandish ideas that I have with the current ones. But the current ones that we have are 2019 global rallycross cars. And, people are forced to race 7-year-old cars, while, GT3 cars, one wing changes in 0.5 degrees, and they call it an Evo, and iRacing within a month has that Evo scanned and completely built into iRacing. I don't know why we can't have, at the very least, a Volkswagen Polo put in as a Frontier Rallycross cars to replace the 2019 old ones. Rallycross 2 cars, I think that this would definitely help the progression to go from Beetle Light to Rallycross 2 and then up to Rallycross. So, I don't know, maybe leverage partnerships with Audi, or let me see what cars, or sorry, not RX2, sorry, RX3, current RX3 cars. Yeah, Audi, or like a down-tuned Polo, something like that. I can't say for certain, because I'm not intimately familiar with rallycross as a motorsport, but RX3 cars would definitely help create a smoother transition from Beetle Light to full power rallycross cars. A direct step up from the FAA Cross Car. This would have to be way in the future because the FAA Cross Car literally just came out, and preferably side by side or pro buggy. Pro buggies are super fun to watch, and I think they'd be super fun to race, and they'd be a direct step up from the FAA Cross Car, which is also known as RX5 right now. And then some way to bring interest from asphalt road drivers over to dirt road. I have an idea for that later in this video that probably won't surprise anyone at all if you know me. But I think that if we can get the huge contingent of asphalt road drivers, at the very least some of them, to get interested in dirt road, it could help in reviving dirt road. But it needs a lot of help more than just an influx of new people, because the influx of new people will eventually wear out. A better license ladder is needed for dirt road. The current dirt road license ladder has no A-class series, and classes within the same type of dirt road racing are competing with each other. So at rookies, currently we have Pro 2 Light, FAA Cross Car, and Beetle Light. And then at D-class, we have Beetle Light Open, and then Pro 4 competing with Advanced Pro 2 Light. And then at C-class, we have, sorry, I'm itching my leg. We have, at C-Class, we have Rallycross Fixed and the Pro 2 Fixed series. And then, in B-Class, the only B-Class is Rallycross Open. And yeah, that's kind of depressing for the amount of series that we have in a full-fledged discipline. there used to be Pro 4 Open and Pro 2 Open, but those were axed because of participation concerns in favor for fixed. And I think that it doesn't make a lot of sense and is not conducive whatsoever to getting A class in dirt road. And the fact that they never bothered to change it kind of is wild to me. Like, I'm just making sure that like I'm not missing out on like a hidden series. Okay, yeah, no, it is all D class for Pro 4. Just want to double check. But yeah, it is pretty sad. It's pretty sad to see the current license ladder in its state, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. So my proposed license ladder to fix this is at Rookie, you have Pro 2 Light and Beetle Light fixed. At D class, you have FAA Cross Car fixed, Beetle Light Open, and Advanced Pro 2 Light. Now notice how I said FAA Cross Car fixed, because at C class, you have FAA Cross Car Open. I moved Cross Car from Rookie to D for the fixed series, because those things are really difficult to drive. And I think that understanding the basics of rallycross racing with Pro 2 Light and Beetle Light fixed will help people a lot more than kind of just throwing them into the fire of cross car and then them getting turned off because those cars are so hard to drive. So moving into D class and then putting it at D class allows for more variety in the schedule than just 5 rallycross tracks. But then you have Beetle Light Open and Advanced Pro 2 Light. And then C class is FAA Cross Car Open with more paid tracks, but an open setup so that people can run whatever they want. Rallycross fixed at its current capacity. And then Pro 2 both fixed and open on alternating time slots. And ideally, they'd have different... I would prefer if they had different schedules, like offset schedules, so that, you know, someone doing Pro 2 fixed isn't going to be racing the same race in Pro 2 open. They'd be racing a different track. So, for example, let's say Firebird for fixed on this week, and then Wild West on open for the same week, and they'd just be separated by an hour. So let's say 1 a.m. would be the fixed slot, 2 a.m. would be the open slot, 1 a.m. would be the fixed slot, 3 a.m. would be the fixed slot, so on and so forth. At B class, it's Pro 4 fixed and Rallycross open. It's kind of the best that I can do with the Rallycross, since we don't have RX3. I know I put RX2 up there, but we don't have RX3 in iRacing or anything to really simulate that yet. So you kind of just have to make do with what you got. But a Pro 4 fixed series at B class, moving that from D to B would really make a lot more sense, since Pro 4 is the top level of trucks. I have no idea why it's at D class right now. And then A class, Pro 4 open, and in the future, Rallycross open, if we get a proper Rallycross 3 at C class. So Rallycross 3 would be at C class for fixed and open, maybe. I don't know. Really depends on how they do. Probably fixed. And then B could be Rallycross fixed, and then A could be Rallycross open, and that would provide a good stepping stool into the Pro Series, which would be Rallycross open and Pro 4 open. Far-fetched ideas that probably won't happen: an SST style series with a Pro 2 Light, with a schedule of Rallycross tracks, Wild West, and free road courses that have jumps on them. You'd have to get in talks with the track ownership for adding jumps, but you know, Long Beach has a stadium super truck state. Maybe Chicago could have something going on there, since that's not going to be used anymore. Lime Rock since that's a free track and iRacing's on good terms with Lime Rock, they might be able to fit some sort of, jumps on there. And I I know Stadium Super Trucks, it's not the same as the Pro 2 Lite, and there's gonna be people going, the Stadium Super Truck is a different truck than the Pro 2 Lite. I know, I've heard it before, but you can have the same type of track, with a different car and receive pretty similar results. Like, you can't tell me that jumps in the Pro 2 Lite at a street course would not be pretty fun and be pretty similar to Stadium Super Trucks. The Midwest Off-Road Racing Super Stock Truck Series as a potential rookie series sometime down the line. These are stock trucks with off-road suspensions. The engine's all stock, like it just came from the factory, and they typically run F-150s, Silverados, Dodge Rams, GMCs, um, with fiberglass bodies. But the engine's all stock, and I think it could be a very nice entry point into dirt road once it all gets fixed up. But who knows if that's going to happen. Downtune the current Rallycross cars as a de facto RX3 series to fit into C class, so you can move Rallycross fixed up to B. I mean, the setups would still exist for the setups will still exist for the current Rallycross cars. They'd have to be tweaked a little bit to fit the down-tuned engines, but I think that it would be a good stopgap measure while you're trying to get RX3 cars into iRacing. Maybe historic championship off-road tracks like Chula Vista, or the version of Eldora that Torque ran in 2013. It was a dirt oval with jumps down the straights. That would be a fun little layout to add. Granted, they'd have to get in contact with Eldora to do so, and it is very unlikely that they're going to happen considering iRacing and Dirt Road. And who knows? Maybe X Games tracks for Rallycross. That's kind of just like a shot in the dark. I know they never really do that, but I like the X Games rally layouts. They're pretty fun. I don't know how well they'd work in a like a racing environment, but they're fun to watch. But yeah, thanks for watching. This video is inspired by Will Gibson. His video on cleaning up dirt oval. I'll link that in the comments. Lots of help from Tyson Miller's threads on the dirt road section of the iRacing forums. So once again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Y'all take it easy.